Hello.
Hey,
Welcome to the class of nostalgia.
woohoo!
Woo!
I'm
And
Michaela.
I'm Amber. And today we're going to talk about our most underrated characters, in our opinion.
Yeah. Did you want to go first? I don't think for this one, I don't have any last one I was like, this is what I felt like with the ones we disliked and stuff. Like I went into this whole spiel. I don't really have that. Surprisingly, I didn't do any type of research or nothing. I kind of just picked my characters and I'm gonna just go off the top of my head.
I basically did the same thing, but let's be honest here, I did not research any
Yeah,
of
you haven't
my favorite
researched nothing.
characters. Well, I always think I like to be like natural with it. So, yeah, I
You can
mean,
be natural with it and have like an idea.
well, for the one we did for I think I did the one for like favorite characters. I did do like bullet points, but it wasn't like full on sentences or whatever.
Okay. I mean, I never did full on sentences. I just looked up stuff. Because sometimes I be saying stuff and then I don't be for sure if that's true or not. So that's why I have to
Mm.
look it up. Because I don't want to seem like a fake Degrassi fan. Like I know everybody knows that I'm a real Degrassi fan, but I watched the show. I don't want to be saying like random stuff and then be like that never happened in the show. That's weird.
That's true because you be thinking something happened and it really didn't. But no, I
Yeah.
make sure the stuff that I say happened
Oh, okay. So
at least.
technically, you do some research. You just don't like write it down. You just like
Mm.
I looked it up. Oh, also
Yep.
we wearing our shirts. Mine just say Degrassi Panthers.
And I'm at work. The dot.
Yeah, I'm at work. Okay, so I guess you can go first since you did that introduction.
Okay, well, are we going to say all our characters or we just gonna do one by one?
I guess we can do one by one because that's what we've been doing so far. I think. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to say my first underrated character, in my opinion. This dude was a nice dude. I feel like, in my opinion, and I felt like he could have had if they would have given more of a storyline or more of a background, he would have been an more interesting character. So I'm gonna say Chris, aka the dude who went
Oh
out with
yeah.
Emma after Sean.
I think
So the first time,
technically he was like wasn't he supposed to be like a main character? Like he was supposed to be part of the group. Like if you look at
yeah,
promotional pictures and stuff, like he was like as if he was friends with everybody, but I never seen him really interact with anybody other than Emma and Liberty.
yeah. Like I literally think he was supposed to be a recurring character, maybe, but maybe something happened with the contract and we just don't know about it.
Yeah.
But I felt like he was underrated. Like he was one of the sweetest guys. I felt like he treated Emma like a queen, a little princess, because that's when she was younger. And I felt like he would have been more. But not gonna lie, if they did do more of a storyline, they probably would have had him in Liberty Video. I felt like,
That's true. That's
and
kind
then
of
we would
like
have had Liberty and JT.
not to like cut you off or like go into a separate like a separate thing. But you remember the guy who was part of like the Jay and Sean group and he had a crush on Liberty?
Oh yeah, mm-hmm.
So apparently on TikTok, this is also okay. I said in the last podcast, I couldn't remember her username, but I think it's called Degrassi Kid. That is her username, and she like do a bunch of Degrassi like fun facts and stuff like that. I've been learning a lot of stuff from her. And so on the video, she was saying that the guy, his name is Towers. Apparently, I had to look it up, and like he was supposed to be a like a reoccurring character, but if you notice, he never said anything or really
Mm.
had any lines. Like every time he was up there, he never actually said anything. And I think they said he was late to filming. Like every single time he was late to filming, so they had to end up like cutting his character off. And if you look him up, it literally says Liberty's ex boyfriend, and I'm like, when did they ever date? And apparently, on an episode, you can see that Liberty said, "Oh, I broke up with him because he cheated on me or something." And I'm like, "What?" And to see that goes back to me being like, I have to look stuff up because like I don't remember that at all. I don't remember Liberty having a boyfriend really before JT. I don't remember her being like, "Oh, he cheated on me." Like all that stuff randomly happened, and
I
so
think it
it's
was an
funny.
off-screen type thing, maybe.
It had to be because I don't remember that.
Yeah, I don't remember that. I don't remember them really. I remember them having like a flirting thing, and I
Yeah.
think Sean mentioned to Liberty that he liked her, and then they maybe went on a date after that. But that's all I know.
Yeah. And so that was funny. The only reason I brought it up because you had said if Chris and Liberty dated, you don't know what would have happened with JT and Liberty. And I think I literally made a tweet saying, like, oh, it's funny that after I found that out, I was like, it's funny that they literally said this dude was Liberty's ex boyfriend. So I wonder what would have happened if he actually wasn't like, I don't know if he was fired or quit or whatever, if he wasn't off the show, what would have happened? Because I'm pretty sure they would have actually showed their relationship and stuff. So would JT and Liberty have even been together, or like would it have been different? And so that was funny. But yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off and stuff. I thought that was funny that you said that, and I was like, I don't think I had told you that.
Yeah, this the vibe that Chris gave was more of a nicer. You said the guy's name was Tower.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Towers like with the Z or something.
Towers. I feel like they made Chris a more wholesome version of him.
Yeah. At least he got some parts though. Like he got to say something.
Yeah.
And the other guy was just like in the corner, like hey, Liberty, being creepy kind of, but
Yeah, I feel like they should have made him the silent type, and yeah, they could have played off of that. But like, dude, you was late. Why you keep being late? You could have
exactly.
paved the way.
Yeah.
Oh well, you live and you learn.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my dude Chris, so I don't understand what they were doing. I mean, I get that maybe they were just trying to show that Emma can is not just about Sean, even though we already know Sean and Emma's in game. But like they
For
show that she can dip her toe in different ponds. Like it's not just about Sean. And so they was like, oh, let's have her move on with this nice guy, and let's see how it goes. And I'm pretty sure people liked it. I don't think people disliked him. I never heard nobody say anything bad about him. But for some reason, he just disappeared. Like after,
exactly.
I think after Emma, like I think her and Sean like just became friends or something,
Uh-huh.
and then he just left.
I was about to ask you that too. I was like, do you remember? I don't remember when he left.
Yeah, like just one day he just left, and I don't think anybody really noticed because it was just like it made sense. I'm just like he just
Yeah.
I don't know if he was gone from the show, like gone from the school, or like he transferred. They didn't even say like his story or nothing. They
They
just
didn't.
he just was gone.
Yeah, I don't know if the actor got fired or anything. I didn't see that. I don't know if anybody know that,
Yeah,
but oh my gosh, if y'all do know what happened, can y'all put in the comments because I'm
please.
actually curious. Like did maybe
Yeah,
we missed it? Like maybe they did say something about Chris like, "Oh, Chris like left the school or
or he
like he's just
died.
not in
We
our
don't know.
classes." Yeah, like or what happened to the actor? Like did the actor quit or get fired or did he just was like I'm moving on. But see, with other actors like JT, they gave him this whole extravagant thing because he wanted to go off to college, even though he did die. I wouldn't say that's extravagant, but like, think about it. I don't know. I'm not an actor. Amber's kind of an actor, so she been in plays and stuff. You know, she been down that path. So
Yeah, but
I'm just going.
I didn't say, oh, I'm quitting, so kill me off.
But I'm saying for you, if you was like, oh, I'm either done with acting or like I don't want to be on this project anymore, but I do really love it. Do you think it's some type of way that I can be off the show? Wouldn't you want to die? No offense, like I would kind of want to die. So like, first of all, I want it to be a horrible death. And then second of all, I want them to keep talking about me. Like I want it to be like that's literally what they did to JT. They gave him a horrible death. He died, getting I don't know if you can say it, but y'all know what happened. And
Mhm.
then literally after that, when did we stop hearing about JT? We literally heard about JT all the way up to maybe like the 10th, 11th season. And even
Yeah,
then his memorial thing was still in there till next class, I think.
yeah, it was.
So excuse me, how many people made it that far? Other than Mr. Simpson, who literally was still in the show, everybody else, not saying you forgot about them. Of course, we remember everybody that was on the show, but technically he was on there all the way up from when he died to when next class ended. technically.
Well,
So
no, remember they updated the memorial because remember they had Adam in there too.
see, so Adam got some stuff too, but Adam, I don't know if Adam quit or if that was already part of the script.
I no, I really think they were just doing a PSA on texting and
Okay,
driving.
so yeah,
I think that was
I
just
don't
part of
think
that.
Adam quit, but
Yeah,
or Jordan. We say Adam as in the character, but Jordan is the actress, and
yeah,
then Ryan is the actor, but JT is the character. So
yeah.
JT still in it. If I was actor, if I was Mariah, I kind of be glad with how it went down because like I got to go off to school like he wanted to, and
Hmm.
then people still talking about JT to this day. So I
Well,
feel like I'd be okay with it.
in my opinion, I feel like if I was in the same shoes of JT or like somebody who wanted to like quit the show or like wanted to do other projects, it depends. Like if I was totally done with the TV show, like I didn't want to be a part of it anymore. Okay, you can do a gruesome death for me, and you really don't have to talk about me no more because I don't want to do the project anymore. But like if I was just like, oh, I want to do something else, but I still want to have this as a back burner, then I can like either die and then all of a sudden come back to life, like on a lot of these shows,
That's true.
or I can like be like, oh, she went off and went to do something like for a few months, but she'll be back, stuff like
But
that.
see, yeah, that's kind of confusing because, like, with Terry, she went off to another school. So I always had in the back of my mind that Christina, I think that's her, the actress name. I always thought she was gonna come back because all they said was like she went to another school. So I was like, oh, so she's still alive. She could still come back to the school. She has friends
Mhm.
here. But with Ryan, who played JT, he couldn't come back. He's dead. So that's kind of why I was like, if I know I love the show and I did enjoy my time here. I kind of would want to die, especially gruesomely, so they could always have that in the back of their mind, like, oh, I miss JT, stuff like that. Whereas Terry, they never talked about Terry again on the show, and that's why I always had in the back of my mind, oh, she gonna pop up because literally she not dead and she's just at another school. That
Yeah.
and see, I always kind of thought she was gonna come back in the college years because, of course, they wasn't going to Degrassi anymore. And then we
Mhm.
saw Paige, we saw Ellie, we saw Marco. So I was like, oh, she's gonna come back at least for like an episode.
Yeah,
She
she
didn't
could have
come
come
back.
back for an episode. Like, oh, dang, Terry, hey,
Exactly.
look at you.
They just kind of forgot about her, and that's what it's like. That's what's up.
Yeah,
If I'm pretty
that's
sure Terry would have rather died. No offense. I'm pretty sure she would have rather died and had them keep talking about her.
yeah, that's true. But that don't mean they would have talked about it. They could have just said, "Oh, she dead
That's
and
true.
gone," and that was it.
But I feel like the way she would have died, they would have probably because technically that would have been gruesome. Because then Rick would have did it, and they still
Yeah,
talked
then he would have
about
went to
Jimmy.
jail
Oh yeah, that's true. So the thing would have never happened to Jimmy because he would have went to jail.
Yeah,
Wow.
unless it could have been a
Oh
thing
no.
of he got shot, and then Rick died when he got shot. Like after Jimmy got shot, then Rick
Oh.
died, and then they found out Terry died.
Oh.
That
They
would
was
have
like,
been
let's not. Yeah, they was like, let us not actually traumatize kids.
that would have been like triple because we didn't even know Jimmy was gonna stay alive.
Yeah. Oh wow.
They could have did that, but
Yeah, that would have been
hey,
traumatizing.
I'm not a writer.
Honestly, though, JT's death traumatized me. I don't think the
I think it
shooting thing
traumatized all
really.
of us.
I don't think the shooting necessarily. I guess because, like you said, he survived, and I felt
Mhm.
bad for Jimmy because, like, you could tell his whole thing was basketball, and then I was like, no, I
Then
was
we
so
wouldn't gotta
upset.
tell me lies though.
That horrible song. I mean, he did make it better, but yeah, JT's death. Oh my gosh. And the fact I really when I was younger, because I think I only saw it once when I was younger, and then I didn't see it again for years and years and years because Degrassi didn't because I think in like America and well not America in the United States and then in Canada they replay the show differently, and so
Yeah,
I know certain stuff they don't show in the US that they show in Canada, so I don't think they replayed JT's death episode a lot.
yeah, they
And so
don't.
I didn't really see it again until they started showing the episodes on YouTube, and then now it's on a bunch of other platforms. You can watch all every season or whatever. But yeah, I didn't really see it. First time I saw it was when I was a child, and I didn't see it anymore after that. And I totally forgot they actually showed it. Like I was like, I kept thinking about my mind because like I was so young, and of course like that wasn't really part of my memory. It was part of my memories, but like of course I didn't really remember that well what happened. But I didn't realize they showed it. So when I rewatched it, it traumatized me again because I was like, oh, I didn't think they showed it. I thought it was just Liberty found him. But no, they showed the whole thing. And
Oh, you
then
didn't
I
know
was
they showed
traumatized again.
everything?
No, I didn't until I rewatched it.
You showed the sheen.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah,
I
that
was
would have
like, oh my
traumatized me too.
gosh. They re-traumatized me because I was like, I didn't know they showed it. I just thought we saw him. And then all of a sudden, I thought they were just like, oh, he died, which also was kind of quick. So I was
That
like, at
means you
least let.
blocked it from your memory then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, first of all, it traumatized me enough to be like, oh, I thought he did. They didn't even show it, and then re-traumatized me again because they showed it, and then I was like, oh my gosh, that's gruesome. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even think they show anybody else. They didn't show Adams. They didn't show Cam. They didn't show. I
I don't
mean,
think they was gonna show Cam. Cam probably was too much,
that's true.
way
They
too much.
didn't. And then I feel like I don't know the Terry and the Jimmy situation, like when Terry hit her head and when well she didn't hit her head, Rick pushed her, and then what's it called? Jimmy got shot. I didn't know like of course we saw it, and those
Mhm.
were kind of gruesome too. If you think about it, those was also kind of traumatizing, but it wasn't. I don't know because they didn't die. I didn't.
Mhm.
I don't know, but that whole JT's thing, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't. But yeah, we still. I don't know if you still talking about Chris. We still supposed to be talking about Chris. The JT thing came out of nowhere. But if
No, my
I would,
dude. All I gotta say, my dude Chris, he did what he did. He romanced my girl Emma. He said, you know, I love you, stuff like that. You my queen, and then he said, deuces.
he
That's all
said,
I gotta say.
I also agree. I think he's an underrated character. I agree with everything Amber said, but for my character, I'm also kind of going in the same realm of this person literally just disappeared, and my character is Wesley. He, I'm, I, if you, first of all, before I even really get into the whole West thing, can we just talk about how, because I saw this on Twitter the other day and I didn't even realize it. Pretty much all of Connor's friends disappeared.
Yep.
Dave, I thought, I swear, in my memory, Dave graduated with everybody. So I don't know what happened. I swear he graduated with everybody. And then when I went back and looked at it, I was like, what the heck? Where's Dave? Like I really was confused. And then Wes, I know I remember him disappearing, so I wasn't really I don't know why. And there was somebody else. There's somebody else that Connor was friends with. Oh, I guess KC. But
But
we
he
know
just
he
left.
yeah, but so we know he went to another school, so technically that don't really count. Literally, Dave and Wes disappeared. Like, where did they go? Now, no offense to Dave, I don't really think he was an underrated character. I think either people were okay with him or they didn't like him. He was kind of arrogant, but I mean, he was funny.
R.I.P.
So,
Jamel French.
oh yeah, R.I.P. Jamel French because he definitely did well in that character.
Hmm.
And a lot of people said he was somewhat like his character, but like not really like his personality. He wasn't like him, but like his dancing and stuff and being funny. They said he was definitely like him in that sense. So, and that, I feel like that was the best parts of him. So, of
Yeah.
Dave. So that's amazing. But to
Mhm.
get into Wes, I'm just like, this dude is funny. He was hilarious. And I noticed this part is kind of in 2021, I don't think it would be as acceptable or as funny as I'm not saying I condone it, but it was kind of funny. This episode, when Claire got her laser eye surgery, and
Mhm.
Jenna, for some reason, started going around telling everybody she got a boob job. It was like, "Oh, Claire, can I?" He was like, "Are you okay?" And she was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Oh, do you can you tell?" and stuff like that. And he was like, "Oh, not really." But he was like, "Are you sore?" And then she was like, I don't know what you're talking about." And then she was like, "Didn't who said something about touching?" I
It
can't
was
remember.
him. It was Wes, I think. He said, "Can I touch them?" And then she said, "Yeah, sure." And then she closed
Oh
her
yeah,
eyes.
close her eyes, and he went to go grab her upper region. I don't think he really did. I think he kind of just was like this, and she was like, "What are you doing?" And he was like, "Oh, you know." I think that part was funny. I don't think it was meant to be, problematic or anything.
Yeah, it wasn't.
But in 2021, it might be a different story. But I feel like that whole part, like, and then somebody tried to set Claire and Wesley up on West
Yeah.
up. Somebody, I don't know where that came from. I don't know if there's any West and Claire shippers out there. I'm not really one of them, but I just thought that whole little thing was funny.
So they named me Kless.
Ew,
Oh,
that
wait.
sounds
Yeah, Kless.
that sounds like um that sounds like a sexual disease. That
Oh
sounds
no, I
horrible to
didn't.
me.
I mean, or you could do like where that
Wow.
better.
I mean, that's better. It's still not good though.
I
But
tried.
to me, I feel like Wes was like no offense to Dave and Connor, like the best of the three. Because Dave, all he worried about was Allie and trying to get with Allie. And then Connor, even though I love me some Connor, he was like kind of annoying at times. Like he kind of was like, I don't
Mm.
want to be around y'all. So like when Connor was by himself, he was kind of funny and stuff. And I thought he was a good character. But like when he was with them, he was always annoyed by them. So it was like,
It did seem like it. It did seem like he was annoyed.
yeah, and then they didn't even talk about what happened to his uncle too. Like, did Wes and
Oh,
his
that's
whole
true.
family up and leave?
Yeah, because he
Did
was a
they?
teacher.
Yeah, and I don't think he was ever. I don't think he. I think when Wes left, he left. So now it's a
Mhm.
conspiracy now that I'm coming up with. Maybe they was part of the witness protection. Maybe something happened. They had to up and leave because if you notice, we didn't meet his mom and his dad, and his uncle was the one taking him to school and taking him home, which makes sense
And
because he
teach him,
worked
taught him
there.
how to drive.
Yeah. So like was maybe his parents was part of like the war or like they was in the army or the military or something. And then
Uh,
maybe they moved, but I don't understand how the uncle would have to move. Maybe he was
he
his
didn't want to be in.
caretaker.
He didn't want to be in Canada alone. He was like, "Nah, I'm going with y'all."
Yeah, like that. I don't know. That was so random, and I don't think
It
they
is.
spoke about what like they didn't talk about him anymore. They didn't say, "Oh, he up and left" or left the school. They didn't say if anything happened to him or nothing like that. He just was gone, and then nobody talked about it. And to be honest, when the shows were coming on, I didn't even notice that Wes was gone. I think when did he start? I think he started right before the uniforms. Like his character was
Yeah.
on there, and then
No,
he
but
left right.
like he's. You say he started. Oh, my bad.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah.
And then he left like right before
It stopped.
yeah,
Hmm.
right before Jake came,
Yeah. So like
Claire's stepbrother.
he was there like maybe a little bit before uniform started, and then he was there through the whole uniforms thing, and then he didn't even get to embrace the casual wear.
Well, I think he stopped before they even stopped wearing the uniforms. Because like I said, when Jake came, remember he was wearing uniforms, and I don't remember
Yeah.
Wes and Jake even interacting or anything. I mean,
Yeah.
not that they would have, but like I'm thinking back to like season 11. I think that would have been. I don't remember him being part of it. So like the now or never little thing that they was trying to do. Like, can
So
we talk
that
about that for a minute? Now or Never was definitely a good for me. Like, I did like the promotion and everything for it, but y'all went from Shark in the Water to Now or Never.
that's
Like, the
true.
only good parts of Now or Never was the whole scary Jake took everybody to his cabin or whatever, and they thought they was a serial killer was after them. And then the whole thing with Bianca and Drew and Katie, where Bianca was like, in that relationship and Drew kept trying to save her. That was the only good part of Now or Never. Like it was a good season, but I mean those were the only big like storylines. Oh, and I think that's the season where Claire got cancer, but
No, I think that was the next season.
okay, well then never mind. So yeah, that was the only like big part. So
Only
now or
reason why I
never.
know because that was the last season before they really started the next class.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and I totally forgot that the last season before they started next class is when Claire got pregnant. Because somebody was
Mhm.
like, I made a post on Instagram talking about how my favorite seasons right now. I think I said my favorite seasons right now is season 3 and season 10. Like those are episodes I keep rewatching. And then I was
Mhm.
like asking other people like, "Oh, what seasons are y'all watching?" I think somebody said season 14 because I think that was the last season. And I was like, "Oh, I mean to be honest, that season wasn't really that good." And I literally said, "Oh, what happened on that season?" So I was like, "I don't think it was no big storylines that season." And then they was like, "Literally Claire got pregnant that season." I was like, duh.
Yeah,
I totally
that was the
forgot that
biggest
was.
part of the last season before next class was Claire was pregnant.
I was like, I swear I thought it happened season 13 or something.
Literally, I think the last episode of that season was her with the miscarriage. I think that was one of the last episodes.
Dang, I didn't realize that, and I was
Yeah.
like, duh. But yeah, what Wes? I don't really have that much to say about him because he really only two. I think he only was like he had a couple of storylines, but I think the only ones that was like primarily about him was the he did like what was it called, bungee jumping, not bungee jumping, what am pogo sticking, that thing he
Yeah.
was trying to break the world record
I
for
was like,
that.
what did he do? Like, yeah, pogo stick. Yeah.
I don't know why I said bungee jumping, but I was like, he didn't jump off nothing, but I remember him jump, he was trying to break the world record or something, and to get a girl's attention. And
Hmm.
then when he started dating that girl, and I think this was his last episode, when he was dating that girl with the long hair, and she started going on a bus with some dude, and he was trying to like flirt with her, and Wes was like, "You need to stop flirting with my girlfriend or whatever." And that was the episode where he was trying to learn how to drive so he could drive her home or whatever.
That
I
was
think that
his
was the
last
last episode.
episode.
I think it was because
Oh,
when I went back to do like a TikTok or something, I was like, what was Wes's last episode? And I think that was his last episode. Like maybe he did do like another episode where you saw him for like 5 seconds, but that was his last actual episode. And I was like, this is how y'all want to end his character? That's what I'm
so
like, how did
his uncle literally said, "Oh yeah, let's go and teach you how to drive," and then they just drove off into the distance, never to be seen again.
yes. I mean, I think the last part was they did their project. I think that was the last like his because that was the
That was on
whole
the
thing.
same
Like
episode.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like that was the last part was when he did the little they did that thing with the ball,
Oh,
hitting all
and
that
they
stuff.
they were supposed to travel, wasn't it? Wasn't they supposed to go to a different state? So they moved on to
Probably,
another
yeah. I know
part.
he was part of like the science fair or something.
That could be a conspiracy because all three of them never came back.
That's true. We never seen the girlfriend either.
Or the dude that she was flirting with her.
Oh my gosh. So they all disappeared and nobody cared.
Nope. Nobody even realized it.
Oh my gosh. Cause I like you said, I think like the best project went to like the science fair or something.
Yeah, and then
That's
the
now that's
uncle
even
went with
creepier.
them. The uncle went with them because he was a chaperone.
See, yeah, now that's a conspiracy. I'm gonna need somebody to debunk that. I'm gonna need somebody to be like, yeah, they came back, but they went to like a new school or something. Cause now I'm like, I kind of see that happening.
All
They
four of
all
them
went
went to a new
missing.
school.
That kind of reminds me of the show Society on Netflix because they went on the trip. They was going on a trip, and then when they came back, all their parents was missing. So what if that happened? Like that's like a little Degrassi. They should have did something like that. That would have been funny. Like
It
have the
would.
West and all them come back, and now they in some parallel universe or something. That's creepy. But yeah, that's all I really had to say about Wes. Now that's creeping me out though, because like he really could have went missing. They nobody cared.
All I gotta
But
say about Wes, uh, Wes walked. So what's his name? Miles Spring can run. That's all I gotta say.
Miles' friend Winston.
Winston. I knew he had a W name too, but I didn't want to say Wes 2.0.
Oh my
So that's
god.
basically what he was. Let's just be
Winston
honest.
had more parts than he did though.
But that's what I'm saying. If Weston had that little small little thing that he had, Winston would have had nothing.
That's true.
They said let's bring another Wes type character back and let's make him more known because people really like Wes.
Yeah. Yeah, because when I made that Twitter post about like, oh, what happened to West, a lot of people was like, oh my gosh, I miss West, stuff like that.
Exactly.
So I don't know what happened
Winston,
with that.
you better thank him.
I don't think people like Winston that much though.
I like Winston.
I know I
Sometimes,
like
sometimes he
Winston
was
and
like,
Frankie.
yeah, sometimes he was annoying, but then other times I was like, oh, he pretty cool.
I guess I just don't think people really care for Next Class, and technically he was a bigger character on Next Class than he was the last couple seasons of Degrassi. So they was just like, we don't. He's part of the Next Class crew, so we don't care.
Oh my god. Okay, so my next character, she was also a disappearing act, but
Disappearing characters, Degrassi.
yeah, I felt like she was the OG disappear. Um,
Uh,
her name Kendra, Toby's girlfriend.
that's true.
She was OG, and the reason why she was OG to me, disappearing character, she had a theme song,
Oh
like she was on a
yeah,
theme song. Like
and
she had her
she was
own
Spinner's
thing.
brother. I mean sister. I said brother. She was Spinner's
Was
sister.
she adopted or was
Yeah, she was
she?
adopted.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So yeah, that's even worse because Spinner was literally a character for a long time. So it's so many opportunities Kendra could have still been there. Like even if she said, "Hey, bro, I'm just here,"
Exactly.
then
This one thing, and again, I keep going sidetracking, but one thing Degrassi keep doing that's like super confusing. They have these close siblings, like not saying Kendra and Spinner, they weren't that close, but they were close enough that they would talk in school.
yeah,
Because I know some siblings don't really like if you are older sibling or younger sibling, like don't talk to me, but they talked in school, so I'm assuming they were somewhat close. But literally, something big happened. Sprinter not only had cancer, but he got married. And we didn't see Kendra. Same thing with Claire. Claire had got cancer, and she had a pregnancy, and she had a miscarriage, and Darcy never came back. So that's just like this random stuff keep happening, and these siblings they make them seem like they're close. Siblings would come back for this type of stuff, and then they would be like, "Nah." Either they don't mention them, or it's like they don't come back, and it's like if that would have happened to somebody's sibling in real life, they would have came. Like if they were siblings in real life and they was close as they were in real life, they would have came back.
exactly.
But yeah, I just think that's weird.
Yeah, but like girl was she was on a I don't know if she was field hockey or lacrosse team.
I think she did
She
a
was
bunch of
on
sports because I saw her on the
yeah,
gymnastics team too.
because when on the theme song she had a I think she had a lacrosse stick in her hand.
Oh
And that
yeah.
was her thing. So then when her part came up on the theme song and she wasn't on the show no more, it's like they skipped.
He's like, bye.
And it was like at first you was like, you didn't think nothing of it. Then you said that girl looked familiar that they carried up and passed by. It was Kendra. And like Toby was with her. Like I don't even think they broke up. Like he
I
was
don't
with
think
her
they
the
broke
whole
up.
like he was with her, and then all of a sudden now he's like, "Oh, I'm single again, y'all. I had nobody. I never had nobody before." Yeah,
Yeah,
you had
she
Kendra.
did. They really try to make Toby seem like he had never had a girlfriend.
Like he didn't understand females at all. Like Toby was my man. Toby was a charmer. Like y'all can't be doing the nerdy. Oh, he don't know. He a nerd. Yeah, we know that. He's smart, but he also knew how to talk to girls. But then all of a
Exactly.
sudden he didn't know how to talk to girls when he got older. In the
That's
whole
true.
Holly J situation. I think didn't he go out with Holly J for a little bit?
Yeah, they was like secretive, and then they broke up because Holly J was like, "Oh yeah, I'll show you off now," and then Toby was like, "Oh, it's too late now." Can't just be like, "Oh, we're gonna be secret for this long," and then be like, "Oh, now I'm not embarrassing you no more."
Like how you gonna be like to my dude Toby, I'm embarrassed by you. This dude about to be rich.
Exactly. We all know he was rich.
Like really?
My theory is though that Liberty and Toby probably got together,
Probably.
or Toby just was like one of them bachelors, like he was getting on them girls.
That's what I'm saying. They try to portray Toby as somebody who couldn't talk to women, but he got women.
Exactly. It wasn't like he was sitting there lonely. Like whenever he, not trying to say that sounds weird the way I was about to say it, but if he wanted a girlfriend, he could get a girlfriend. I don't think he really wanted a girlfriend. I think he kind of just was saying stuff to say stuff because you know how dudes are.
Yeah.
They'll be like, "Oh, Toby ain't getting none," and he was like, "Oh, I'm not getting none." But no, we all know Toby was getting some.
Yeah, he just wasn't telling y'all,
Exactly. He's like, it's none of your business. Because you
which
see,
I agree.
when JT started, I don't know if it was when he was starting to date Manny or when he was starting to date Liberty, but he started hanging out with Danny and Derek and their little crew. And you see
Mhm.
Toby wasn't really hanging out with them no more because he was like, I'm tired of these stupid little boys being like, oh, we ain't Toby ain't getting none, y'all ain't getting none, and Toby getting some, and he tired of y'all talking about it. That's the real issue. He
It
was like, I'm
really
tired of
is.
y'all. And the whole they also didn't, another thing they don't talk about that much is the whole JT and Danny had like a good friendship. And then all of a sudden after JT died, other than in the Degrassi mini, they didn't really show Danny talking about JT or anything anymore.
Maybe he was like trying to pull down the trauma, like he didn't want to think about it. Because a lot of
I
people
mean
do
that's
that,
true,
like when
but
their friends die.
technically that was about to be your brother in law. Like at least talk about him.
That's even worse. I feel like though, because he
That's
know that
true.
he really made Liberty happy.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a sad thing to think about though.
But see, that's one sibling pair that they kind of made. Like, I feel like everything happened the way it did, and nothing weird happened to Danny or something where Liberty would have to come back or something.
Yeah.
And I feel like they talked about each other, like when they
Mm-hmm.
were supposed to talk about each other, just like Sav and Allie. I feel like they
It's the
had a
only
normal
set of
sibling.
siblings that
Yeah,
was pretty normal.
exactly.
That was. I don't think any other siblings was as normal as them four. Yeah, I can't think of anybody else.
Exactly. Yeah, though.
Maybe Fiona and Declan, but I felt like he disappeared. Declan disappeared too.
Yeah, and that was his. That was her
But she
twin
talked
brother.
about him. But she
Yeah, she
talked
talked
about
about him. He just never came back.
him.
I
Yeah,
think he didn't come back after that whole thing with Holly J because he was
which
like
makes sense.
embarrassed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, but like, sorry, Kendra. See, we making you disappear again, girl.
exactly. We stopped talking about Kendra.
But not gonna lie, she didn't really have like we knew she was Spinner's adoptive sister. We knew her and Toby was together. Like she had like maybe those two storylines,
Yeah,
and that was really it. Then after that, she just disappeared. But like the way that they made sure she was like a tomboy type girl, like she played sports. You know, she had like she was sociable. She wasn't like an introvert. She was
yeah,
just
she had friends.
yeah. Like she was talking to people like she could have thrived in Degrassi, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, well, you disappear next. So, and then Toby was left alone. Spinner didn't have a sister all of a sudden, and that was it. But I mean, like they could have did more with her.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, all these characters y'all could have did more with. Y'all could have did
exactly.
more.
That kind of goes into my next character, which I have mixed feelings because I used to not really like her, and now I kind of feel like she deserved better. And it's weird because the actress talks about like how much she loved being on the show and stuff like that. And then also, I don't even remember. I think she graduated with everybody, but I can't even remember. But if you can't tell already, my character is Hazel, and I have such mixed feelings about Hazel because, like I said, when growing up, when I saw the show, I was like, Hazel kind of annoying. Like she kind of just Paige's sidekick. She kind of just there. But then I feel like after watching the show, like at first I didn't really like Hazel and Jimmy, and a lot of people are like, "Oh my gosh," because I'm a Jelly. I think that's how you pronounce they ship name. I like Jay and Ellie, not Jay and Ellie, Jimmy and Ellie.
I was about to say Jay and Ellie. When this happened?
Jimmy and Ellie.
You made a new ship.
Oh
You didn't even know it.
ew. I hope ew. I would never want to see that. But I like Jimmy and Ellie. And a
I'm
lot
like,
of people are like mad because they like, oh, Ellie took Jimmy away from Hazel, which is kind of true. And then they didn't even end up dating. I don't know if people more mad that they felt like Jimmy and Hazel broke up because of Ellie, or the fact that they didn't get together and they broke up for no reason technically. But my whole thing is, I actually, looking back at the show, I kind of liked Hazel and Jimmy. Even though I am a jelly stan, I feel like I kind of liked Hazel and Jimmy. Like the way they got together. I think they got together the first time was on the Breakfast Club episode, and
mm,
then they were dating and into up until, which was a while if you think about it, because that was before he was even in a wheelchair. Well, I
mm-hmm.
think no, it had to be. Cause when did Jimmy and Ashley get back together? Cause I remember that was who they were. They were together the final year, but he got held back because he got shot.
That's probably why,
So
because Hazel went off to college while he was still in school, so I think they broke up then. And
yeah,
then
so
him and
but what?
Ashley got back together because she came back, and then they just like reconnected or whatever.
But I'm saying when they started dating, it was before he got shot. So when what like year would that have even been? Like what year in school would they have been? Like 10th grade maybe.
I think so.
So technically they dated for like a good 2 years, which is a long time in high school. So they was
Mm,
together for a good minute. So yeah, so like I see why people are upset. Cause like I said, looking back at the show, I did actually like them as a couple. Cause um, when I was first looking at the show, I was like, ew, why would not necessarily why would Jimmy want Hazel? I just would be like, why are they even together? They kind of like they just put them together, but they actually had a pretty healthy relationship up until Jimmy started having feelings for Ellie, and then they broke up. And they didn't give Hazel really no other boyfriend. That's funny because the only other guy she really talked about liking was Marco, which quote unquote we know this was before Marco came out, and he
yeah.
was dating Ellie, which is also funny because that's a whole nother. And also another funny fact is again, the girl I watched on TikTok and stuff, the Degrassi kid, she talked about how Hazel, well, the actress who played Hazel, they said if you could play any other character on the show, who would you play? And she said she would want to play somebody completely different like Ellie, which all comes back to Hazel and Ellie having that little thing. I feel like
Mhm.
that's so funny. But I feel like Hazel was pretty. She didn't, I feel like they could have made her like like they could have had her be Paige's sidekick, but they could have gave her more, if that makes sense. Like we didn't
Yeah.
have to just see her with Paige. We didn't have to just see her with Jimmy. And then the only storyline we got was when she was pretending to be Jamaican or something for the
Mm-hmm.
International Day, and she ended up being Somalian, and then the girl called her out on it, and she was like being rude to her, and then she
Mm-hmm.
ended up apologizing to her and that whole thing. And I'm like, why is that the only storyline? And I feel like that storyline was so good that it should have been like, oh, we see how good she is, let's give her some more storylines. But no, they didn't even give her no more storylines after that. And then like I said, I can't even remember if she graduated with them or not, or I know she graduated, but we didn't. I can't remember if she was at the graduation. Did they even have a graduation for that? For those couple people, because it would have been like Paige, Marco, Ellie,
They did, because I remember
Hazel.
Margot had that his little bob thing, that
So was
hairstyle.
Hazel there?
I don't remember.
See, yeah, I can't remember, and that's kind of bad because, like I said, I feel like she deserved better, but I can't remember if she graduated. And then also it was like, why didn't they have her for the college like little season? Because I definitely feel like they would have still been friends and stuff.
Yeah.
It could have been Hazel, and this could have been where they gave her like something so she could like have her thing. Like we don't even know what she went to school for. Like she could have been really smart and was trying to be a lawyer or a doctor, or she could have been like, oh, I don't want to go to school, or she could have traveled the world. Like we don't even know what happened to Hazel after she graduated. So that's why I'm like, I feel like she deserved better. They didn't give her her time to shine.
Yeah.
and and that's really how I feel about, okay, my light went out, but that's really just how I feel about Hazel, because she just deserved better. I think if people really go back and watch most of the episodes that she was on, or the storyline she was on, people will probably like her better. Because a lot of people, when I posted it, not they didn't say necessarily negative things about Hazel. They just was like either I didn't really pay attention to Hazel or I didn't like Hazel. And like I said, understandable. But like if you really go back and look at it, I feel like people will start to at least understand her a little more and
You
probably
know
like
why?
her. Why?
I can tell you why. Because a lot of the characters after Hazel, like all like Degrassi next class people, probably seem less like more annoying than Hazel was to those people.
But then why? Oh, you saying that's why they people will probably like Hazel better now
Yeah,
than
because at the time they didn't have no one to like compare her to.
that's true.
I mean, not
I
saying that next class people is annoying. I enjoy most of the characters on next class, but I'm just saying from other people's perspective, they was thinking about they probably comparing her to other characters.
that's true. But yeah, if that's what y'all want to do, I feel like I said, maybe, but also kind of like I feel like, well, I don't know, because like I said, I was kind of being biased because I like the actress because she was on like Cadet Kelly and stuff. But when I first watched Degrassi, I didn't really like her, and I watched Cadet Kelly, so I don't know. I like I said, when I went back and watched it, I did kind of grow a liking to Hazel, but I understand why people could not like Hazel, and I understand how people could be like, I didn't really see enough of her to really have an opinion. So that's what I feel about Hazel. That's why I feel like she's underrated because I feel like they could have gave her more storylines. They could have gave her a better storyline, and yeah, that's my Hazel thing about Hazel.
Yeah, and I agree. I agree 100% on all that. I feel like Hazel definitely was the one that got away, if you will, the one that y'all could have done better, could have done justice for Hazel. You know, I felt like she definitely had redeeming qualities. Y'all redeemed
Yeah,
Imogen, y'all even tried to redeem Fitz. It didn't work, but y'all tried to redeem all these characters. Y'all could have redeemed Hazel as well. Like especially that time that her and Jimmy broke up
yeah,
was a great opportunity for her to be redeemed.
exactly.
So, and or better yet, after the episode of her calling out the Somalian girl when she was saying, "Oh, you really Somalian? You're not Jamaican. I don't know why you lied to these people." Another redeeming.
Well, I
You
don't know
could
if
have
the girl
redeemed
was
her right there.
Somalian. Just Hazel was Somalian.
Oh, I was just thinking because they went to the same church.
Did they? I don't think they did.
Cause that's how she knew.
No, she just said her name sounded Somalian. I just saw that episode. That's the reason
Oh,
why I know.
I thought they went to the same church. My bad.
I like I said, she could be Somalian, but they never pinpointed what her ethnicity was. They just said she was Muslim. And then for Hazel, when she did the thing at the end, she said like, "Oh, I'm Somalian. This is where I came from," and stuff like that. Like she did a whole report. So
Yeah, that was a perfect time to redeem her.
yeah,
I mean, they kind of did with her apologizing, but they could have did more with it. They could have had a part two, and then she could have like explored her roots more.
yeah.
But that's just me. All right,
Well,
my
this is how I'm
last,
gonna look for the rest of the podcast. But I think we each only have one person left.
yeah, I'm on my last character, and to me, and this is my opinion.
Uh-oh.
Don't come at me, but she is the most underrated character. Y'all pissing me off because y'all did my girl dirty. Y'all did her dirty the whole time she was on Degrassi. Only person that redeemed her was Jimmy on I'm Upset. That was it. And that was Terry, my girl Terry. She, oh my gosh, where do I start? First of all, y'all did well with her character, with the plus size modeling. Y'all did well with that. Y'all gave her a abusive boyfriend though.
Exactly. When she could have been, y'all could have let her be with Sprinter.
Man, the missed opportunity, yes. Her and Spinner could have been technically would have could have been better than him and Jane, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I know people gonna be like, no, him and Jane, this in game. Yes, but we don't know. We didn't even give them the opportunity.
Well, I'm one of those people that feel like Jane and Spinner was in game, and I would have rather like, and maybe this doesn't make me a real stand. Like, I hands down, Jane and Spinner in game. The way that the show went, they're in game. But if you would ask me today, would like if the writers would be like, okay, we can go back in time and we're gonna rewrite the show. Would you rather me continue to have Spinner and Jane be together, or would you rather me have Terry and Spinner like at least go on a date? I would say I would rather at least have Spinner and Terry at least go on a date.
And like, yeah, let's talk about that. So Paige is Spinner. We all know the reason why Paige even likes Spinner because Terry liked him.
Exactly.
Only reason. To me, Terry and Paige's friendship was more toxic, and I feel
Yeah.
like her and Paige's and Hazel's friendship was more of a healthier friendship. Even though they
Yeah.
say, "Oh, Hazel was her sidekick" or whatever, that was a healthier friendship than her and Terry, because I feel like at that time, Paige, Paige is, she a boss. We already know that, but like she treated her like crap,
Yeah. To
and
be
I don't
honest, I
know
never seen her
why.
treat Hazel like crap, which is
Yeah, she
surprising.
did.
You would think.
Yeah, I don't know what. I don't know if she like maybe changed after Terry's whole abusive thing. Maybe that's what,
Yeah.
because she was there for her when she
Yeah.
was getting abused. So I commend Paige for that. But like before that, like she treated Terry like, oh, she just that type of girl. Oh, she just here.
Yeah.
But she been friends with Terry longer than her and Ashley or her and Hazel.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why they did that. Maybe they were just trying to show, different types of friendships or whatever. But in my opinion, I feel like it was more of a toxic friendship. To me, if I was Terry, I wouldn't want to be friends with Paige. But if she wasn't friends with Paige, she wouldn't have that support system when she was getting abused.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's kind of a complex situation. But I just feel like, and also if Paige wasn't friends with Terry, I don't think she would have grew up.
Yeah.
She wouldn't have matured as much as she did, maybe. So I don't know. It's complicated, but that's how life is. But my girl she had her modeling career. She was very, very, very beautiful, very beautiful girl. Um, she was nice. Like she made sure all her friends, like her and Ashley, because you can tell her and Ashley been friends for years. Her and
hmm
Ashley had their little friendship, and she was there for Ashley. She supported Ashley. Ashley surprisingly supported her. It wasn't like, it really wasn't no. I don't think it was any bad moments with her and Terry. I felt like, but
I wouldn't say it was bad moments, but like after that whole party thing, where she took the drugs and she was
yeah, that's
like,
what I was about to say. Like, soon as she changed after that, it
yeah,
changed after that. And like, even when she was again when she was getting abused, Ashley wasn't there for her.
that's true.
Because
Well,
she
not
had
as
that
much
whole
as
goth.
Paige.
Yeah, she had that
Yeah.
whole goth moment at that moment, right? And
Yeah.
her and Ellie started being friends.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like they just kept on doing like Terry dirty. Like, she would have like a moment where she'll come out of a situation and then she'll have another situation.
Exactly.
She had the whole thing where people was calling her fat, and then she became a plus size model, and then, I'm getting this secret admirer. She thinking it's Spinner, but it's really Rick. And then her and Rick had that whole moment where, oh, we together, and it seemed good at first, and then he abuses her, and then I'm just like, I understand they wanted to have like a storyline like that, but like
Yeah.
y'all kept doing like the harsh storylines to Terry at
Yeah.
that moment. And then when Terry was gone, then they started spreading it around to different people.
Yeah. It's like, okay, now we can spread it. Now we can give it to other people.
So like, I just feel like, again, I'm glad they gave her a bunch of storylines, because yes, Terry's a good character. But again, they could have redeemed her.
Yeah.
They could have made her a stronger person. Oh, she in a coma. Oh, when she get out her coma, we're gonna take her to a different school. But Rick get to come back?
Exactly. I
That
don't
don't even make
understand that.
sense.
Y'all could have left him in somewhere else, anywhere else.
He could have disappeared.
Yeah.
But no, instead they killed him.
I
I
love
just
this.
don't
Yeah.
get it. I don't get it. Oh my god. And then I just was like, didn't the way that she just went out, oh, I'm Rick, I'm gonna push you, and then I'm gonna you bust your head on a rock and then we never see you again.
Exactly. Like that had
Oh
to be
well
the last
no.
thing we see.
We see her again, but just in a hospital bed.
Hospital. Yeah. Like we couldn't even at least see her wake up and say goodbye to everybody. Like we didn't even get to see her come out of coma.
Exactly. She just up and left. Oh, Terry,
Yeah.
they mentioned her once. Oh, Terry ain't coming back now because her parents took her out to school.
Yeah.
Okay, then we move on. Like y'all been friends with this girl for years.
Exactly.
It wasn't like, oh, she a new girl. She was a somebody y'all was close to, and I ain't
And
you
that's why
never
I was
heard
like, I was
again.
saying at the beginning, I felt like they was gonna bring her back because like they
Yeah.
didn't kill her off. So I'm like, oh, so they must go bring her back. Nope. They was like, no, she's done, or not. She's done, but like we don't need her back. Like we didn't have to have her back.
Yeah, I feel like it was more on that maybe the actresses. Maybe she just didn't want to come back.
Yeah. But I do know she said that she didn't like the having the stunt double because the stunt it was a stunt double who did the fall or whatever, and she said she hated that scene because when she fell, her legs like flailed up,
Hmm.
and she said she hates the way that looked. She said she was willing to do it, but they was like, no, that's too dangerous, and then now she hates that scene. Well, she already, that scene was horrible, but she was like she didn't like the way that that had to go because it was like it looks like she looks it just doesn't look good. And
But you
she said
gotta think
people
about
like
it.
make fun of it.
Yeah, you gotta think about it. She was I think she was a minor at that time, wasn't it? She'd be like right
Yeah, I'm thinking
16.
so. So that's why she said that's why they were saying it wasn't safe for
Yeah.
her to do it.
Hmm.
And then well I had something else and I forgot what else I was gonna say. But what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something else about Terry, but if I remember I'll say something about it.
But yeah, my girl Terry, justice for Terry, justice for Hazel, them two at least. But
Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. She
okay,
said that her doing the plus size modeling on the show made her want to be a model. Because if you don't know, she's a model now, and
yeah.
so maybe that's the reason why I don't think she does acting anymore. But yeah, she said now she's a model, and that's what made her get into modeling was Degrassi.
Not gonna lie, that probably would have probably motivated me to be a model too. If
Exactly.
my character was a model and like it was good pictures too. Like they even though it's for a TV show, like it really looked like she was a model. Like they used her
Yeah,
like somebody's catalog.
yeah. That's probably the picture she used to first get like jobs.
That's
Cause
true.
like I don't think she was interested in modeling beforehand. Like I literally think when they said like, oh, she's a plus size model, she started getting into modeling. So
That's nice. And probably was easy for her too to transition into modeling from acting. I feel like
yeah.
it's easier if you start off being an actor to be a model than it is if you're a model to be an actress or
Yeah,
actor.
probably.
Yeah. Are you ready for your last character?
Okay, I'm ready.
Ooh.
I saved this one for last because people love talking about well no, I love talking about this whole situation, but people love to be like they be trying to explain it and it don't make sense. Like don't try to explain this to me unless you have real facts to back this up. But
Mm,
my last technically characters, because it's one person. It's the same person. It should be the same character. And this if anybody wants to come up, because I'm very introverted. And so when I meet new people, I don't really talk. But if somebody wants to have a conversation with me and meets me in person and be like, hey Michaela, I heard you think this character is the same person. I will talk to you for hours probably about this. My character is I'm trying to think of her real name because I want like I said, it's the same actress. Her name is Alexa, right?
yeah.
Alexa Steele, Cassie Steele's sister, who played Manny.
Mm.
This girl played two characters, if you remember. She played Angie, who was Craig's little sister, and she played Tori, who was like Maya's friend and
Zig's
Tristan's friend.
girlfriend.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Zig, nobody care about Zig. But yeah, Zig's girlfriend. This character, I feel like not only was she underrated, but I don't understand why they had two separate characters. I really don't. And people be trying to explain it to me like, oh, well, um Craig's little sister wasn't really supposed to be like a main character, and then they created the character Tori, and the actress just tried out for it and she got it, and so that just made two separate characters. That makes no sense. Degrassi, and I'm not even before I even start talking about the character. This is what don't make sense to me. Every show, has their whole little plot to how everything go. Degrassi has always been one of those shows where they like, this actor plays this character. This actor does this. We don't have any loopholes. There's no dream world. There's no fantasy world that comes into the show. Nothing like that. So please explain to me how Degrassi is supposed to be so realistic and all these characters come back. Um like all these actresses and stuff actors and actresses come back to play that character, but y'all gonna have Alexa Steele play both Tori and Angie, and then there's no loophole, there's no like universe, like parallel universe. So you telling me that Alexa Steele is a twin? There's two Alexa Steeles, and that one is Angie and one's Tori in this universe? That makes no sense. And that's where I keep coming back at people because they're like, "Oh, actors can play two roles," and I 100% agree with that. But on a show like Degrassi, you can't have an actress play two separate characters. You really can't, because this is not a parallel universe. This is not one of them universes where you can have these people come back and do all these other stuff. Now, I've been telling people online, I've never seen like the Degrassi Junior High, Degrassi High, stuff like that. So, maybe it was actors and actresses that played multiple characters, and I just don't know because I never seen those series. But from Degrassi Next Generation, yeah, Degrassi Next Generation to Degrassi Next Class, no other actor or actress has played multiple characters. So for me, that makes absolutely no sense. And I'm glad Alexa still got to play these two characters because I do actually enjoy both characters. But for Degrassi's integrity, how y'all really gonna have the same actors play two different characters? It's no explanation. Y'all literally in the two characters that they have, Angie and Tori, that's her name, right? They
Yeah.
literally could have been the same character. They literally Angie was just a little girl. We didn't really get to. Only thing we know about Angie was who her mom was. We know that she was Craig's little sister. We know that she was Joey's daughter, and so we could have easily got a storyline where she grows up to be a pageant girl, and like Craig was famous, I think, so she could have been like having those kind of like lavish lifestyle because of Craig. Craig could have been paying for her to be in these beauty pageants. They were super close. So it wasn't like he wouldn't have did that for her in real life. Like if this was a real situation, it wasn't like he couldn't have not done that. And everybody like, oh, this don't make sense because even though Jake Epstein said he was like, I don't think he never said he wasn't going to come back on a season, but Pat, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but the guy who played Joey said he was done with Degrassi and like he didn't like he was okay working on it, but he didn't want to actually be on another like actually acting on it. And so, okay, that makes sense. Why do y'all need to see Joey? Why do y'all need to see Craig for her to be Craig's sister and Joey's daughter? I don't understand why we needed that. And it was like, well, for marketing purposes and stuff, if she was going to be Craig's little sister and Joey's daughter, we want to see Joey, we want to see Craig. Well, I'm sorry, but for Degrassi's whole storyline, it makes no sense for her to play two characters. And I'm going to say that for the rest of my life. It makes no sense for her to play two characters. It really don't. Like she really
And
could have
Tori
just played the
didn't
same.
have a family.
Yeah, like we didn't even see Tori's family. So to be honest, that could have been Angie. And that's always what I say. I always be like, oh, I always think Angie and Tori the same person because we literally don't really know nothing about Tori. So maybe Tori came into it not talking about her family because it was Joey and it was Craig's sister, and she didn't want to be like, oh, that's Craig's little sister. Oh, that's Joey's daughter. Like she didn't want to be known
She
for that.
changed her name.
Yeah, like we don't even know the situation. We don't know her mom and dad. So like she
That's
easily
perfect right there.
it really is. And I don't understand why people are like so upset when I be like, oh, they're the same characters. They be like, they're not the same characters. They just play by the same actors. Well, to me, the way Degrassi is, and maybe this is considered a conspiracy theory, she's the same character. It's no way you can tell me that she's not the same character. They just didn't change her name. Because, like, I'm
Hmm.
going to keep repeating, Degrassi is not one of those type of shows where they will have the same act. Yeah, they will have the same actors play two different characters because it makes no sense. There's no parallel universe in Degrassi where you can switch and choose who plays who. If Miriam McDonald, she plays Emma. Miriam McDonald is not all of a sudden going to play Manny. She not all of a sudden going to play somebody's new character cousin named um Georgia. No,
Delilah.
she's Emma. Yeah, she's Emma Nelson. She's not playing nobody else. So for everybody to easily be like Alexis Steele, oh that's Angie, but that's also Tori. No, that's the same person. Y'all can, again, we can argue about this, we can debate about this to anybody who wants to do it, but they are the same character. You cannot tell me they are not the same character. And for the reasons why I feel like she's underrated, because I technically didn't even get into those reasons why, I feel like Angie's underrated because literally we know about her mom, we know who her brother is, we know who her dad is, and we don't get to see her. Obviously she
Grow
was a
up.
good actress if she plays another character. So like they didn't give her really any story.
And
And
she
I know
didn't
she
grow
was,
up.
and yeah, I know she wasn't really old enough to really have a storyline, but like Amber just said, she could have grew up and we could have saw her eventually go to Degrassi. And that's why I
Mhm.
kind of connect her with Tori because we see Tori go to Degrassi. We don't know
Mhm.
her family and we don't know all the stuff about her. So that's also why I feel like Tori's underrated because we get to know the backstory of, oh, she do pageants and she do that, but we don't get the backstory of who her actual parents are, who her brothers, sisters are, maybe. Like what? That don't make sense. And that's, I feel like Degrassi does that on purpose so people can think either that, oh, conspiracy theory, that's the same person, or they can think like, oh, we forgot about Angie, but here's Tori, or we forgot about Tori, here's Angie. That's why I feel like Degrassi kind of kept it open like that so that technically they could be the same character.
They
And
wanted a debate.
yeah, they really did. And it's like, you got it for me because I love Degrassi so much. And the one thing I love about Degrassi is it's like, of course it's not real, like it's not real story, but
But
like
it's
they
realistic.
take, yeah, like they actually do, and they do all this stuff. Like they even said they have this rule where they have characters who play teenagers be teenagers. They have
Mhm.
certain rules and certain stuff to make it seem so real. So for me, it makes absolutely no sense for Alexis Steele to play both Tori and Angie and them to not be the same characters. I'm gonna repeat that to the day I die. It makes no sense. And even if a writer or anybody from the Degrassi creators come up to me today and be like, Michaela, I'm sorry to tell you, we really had Angie be Angie and we had Tori be Tori, and Alexis Steele just plays both characters. I know it maybe don't make sense in the universe of Degrassi, but that's just how it is. I'm still not gonna believe you because the way Degrassi runs, y'all can't be telling me that y'all made a simple mistake like that and just let it be. It makes no sense. It really don't.
Michaela, if a
Yeah,
writer came up to you and told you that, you have to be like, oh, okay, it's
no,
no.
it don't make sense in my brain. My brain is not gonna interpret that. My brain is gonna be like, okay, yeah, sure, and be like, no, I still know. I still know Degrassi was not trying to. They still the same character.
Oh
Like
my
y'all
god.
literally cannot come to me and be like, it's no way. If I ever meet a
Oh
Degrassi creator and I have this conversation with them, they might as well just lie to me and be like, yeah, conspiracy, you was right, that conspiracy theory's right, yeah, Angie and Tori the same character, because I will stop talking about it probably more than if they'd be like, oh no, just Alexa still play both characters, she just was really good as Tori and we didn't see anybody else that could play Tori. Then I might as well just be like, oh yeah, connect Angie and Tori, because that's
no.
the
You
only
might
way
as
my brain
well,
was.
to be honest, because her personality didn't change.
It really didn't. That's why I'm like, I see if they was two completely characters. Like I see if Angie, was how Angie was, and then Alexa still plays somebody like, I'm trying to think of somebody who's like completely opposite, like like Imogen. Like, well, no, honestly, I still would be like that could connect back to Angie because she could have just grew into this
Yeah,
like phase.
because she didn't. You didn't see
Um,
her parents.
I don't know. Yeah, really, Angie could have been any character, and I would have been like, that's just how she grew up. Because dude, Grassy is not that type of show where they're gonna have two. They're gonna have actors play the same character. They really not.
I mean,
Like,
unless you show a picture of Tori, a different looking Tori as a baby, even though we know it's the same girl, but
that's
like
true.
they just use a different little girl or something. That's the only way, probably.
That's true.
But
But
even
yeah,
then, you probably will still find a way to say it's still Angie.
I maybe I don't know. If like I said, I can go more in depth. Like if I ever meet somebody real and meet somebody and they want to have a conversation about it, I'm willing and open to talk about it because that's the only thing. That's a conversation starter for me. So
It
if
really is.
because like I don't, it makes my brain really is not. It don't make sense. You really cannot have the same actress play two different characters on Degrassi. You really can't. And that's just where I'm gonna leave it because I really like nobody's gonna change my mind about that because I'm telling you, no other actor or actress has played multiple characters. Like when Spinner came back, he played Spinner. When Peter came back, he played Peter. When Emma came back,
Unfortunately,
she played Emma. When Joey came back, he played Joey. So you telling me when Alexa still come back, she's playing a new character?
you
Okay,
really like. I know you was like having a thing with this, but you really, you
like
was
I can
really
break it down to
upset.
the bone. No
Like you
other is
really
there no
passionate
other
about this.
explanation about it.
I've never seen you so passionate about anything with Degrassi, and you
Yep.
passionate about Eli. So this
Yeah,
beats Eli.
it really do. No, nothing can change my mind about this.
Oh my god! Even
Alexis
if
still herself can come up to
Eli's,
me. Alexis still herself can come up to me and be like, "Yeah, they didn't contact me. They just really wanted. I just came in to read the part for Tori and I got it." And I still be like, "Yeah." And then they ended up connecting Angie and Tori because it makes no other sense.
what they want to say, even if they brought Eli's twin brother in there, because Marone Chambers got her twin
See,
brother
yeah,
in real life.
see, that's what I'm saying. Alexis still don't have no twin. Alexis Steele's sister is Cassie Steele. If Cassie Steele was to come in and play another character, that would also piss me off because she's Manny. Manny is so iconic. Y'all not gonna have Cassie Steele come on and play like Tori's mom or Tori's sister or Tori's aunt. Like, don't do that.
Oh my god, that would have been funny if they
That
did
would have
though.
been funny. See, at least if they would have did that though, I kind of could have just played it off as a joke and be like, obviously they just having this be some fun little story like plot hole where they like, oh yeah, they're related and all this stuff. But I guarantee you, if they did that, I would have been like, oh, that's Manny or something. Like, because it just don't make sense in my brain. It don't make sense. Like if they would have Marone Chambers' brother, twin brother, come on there, we know he has a twin brother, so he can play a character. He can do whatever he want. But they can't have Alexis Steele come on here twice and play two different characters. They really can't. And I don't. Nothing's gonna change my mind about that. And yeah, it's just where I'm gonna leave it because I can literally talk about this
Yeah,
for hours. Like
just to let y'all know, that's it. That's all.
it really is.
You
Cause
can't change your mind.
I've literally had like two different discussions on Twitter with somebody about this, and it's like none of that makes sense to me. It really don't. So that's where I am with the Tori Angie situation.
Well, we gonna end it on here, y'all. Thank you for
Yes,
joining us. And if you made it this far, you are the
amazing.
one. You are a goat.
Exactly.
Greatest of all time.
All right.
Because we went
Next,
left a lot.
we really did. Like we would talk about the underrated character and then start talking about other people. So it's like,
Yeah, that
dang,
tells
we
you
can't
they
get that person
underrated.
that. Yeah, it's not much to talk about with an underrated character if they
It's
didn't have that
not.
much storyline or that much stuff to talk about them. So that's why it's like they deserve better.
Yeah.
But our next episode will be about our favorite episodes. And so we're gonna make that like two different parts. Like we're gonna do because it's so many episodes of Degrassi. There's no way we can just have one episode about it, and we don't want to make it too long. But
Mhm.
we're not for sure if we want to just talk about one episode or two, three. We don't know how many we want to do. But yeah, next episode is part one of favorite episode. So get ready for that. And yeah, we don't want to talk for too much longer, but thank y'all for joining. I've been
Thank
Michaela,
you. And I'm Amber.
and this has been Degrassi, the class of nostalgia. See you next time.
Bye.